All right, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Today we're tackling entrepreneurial motivation.
Ooh, good topic.
You know, how to get fired up and stay fired up.
Yeah, so important.
And we're diving into this article called 5 Ways for Entrepreneurs to Get Motivated and Stay That Way.
Okay. Sounds promising.
I think this is going to resonate with you guys listening out there, building your own businesses and chasing those dreams.
I think so too, definitely.
What do you think? Is this something that people struggle with?
I mean, staying motivated?
Um,
Oh, absolutely. It's like the number one thing, right?
Yeah.
For entrepreneurs.
All right, well, let's jump right in.
Okay, let's do it.
So the first point this article makes is all about goal setting.
Okay.
But not just business goals, personal goals too.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think that's super important. We can't just be all about business all the time.
Right.
We're not robots, we're people.
Exactly.
We need to have a life outside of work.
Yeah.
It's about that balance, right?
Totally.
And it's about are we happy?
Yeah.
Are we fulfilled? What are those things that bring us joy outside of just hitting those business targets?
I love that.
You know?
So in this article talks about SMART goals.
Oh, yeah.
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound.
Yeah. Classic.
What do you think? Do you use that in your own life and business?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a great framework. Right. And it really helps you to clarify what you want.
Yeah.
And actually break it down into steps.
Totally.
So it's not just this vague idea floating around in your head.
It's like it's actually achievable.
Right. Exactly.
It's actionable.
Yes.
So give me an example. I always get stuck with this, how to actually make a SMART goal.
Well, so let's say your goal is to increase your income.
Okay.
Right. That's a pretty common goal for entrepreneurs.
Right. Of course.
But it's super vague. Right?
Yeah. It's how much, when, how.
So a SMART goal would be something like, I want to increase my income by 20% in the next quarter by launching a new product line.
Oh.
See how that's much more specific.
It is. Yeah, totally.
You've got a number. You've got a time frame.
It's attainable.
You've got a strategy.
Yeah. I love it.
Right.
That's super helpful.
So it's taking that vague idea and turning it into something that you could actually work towards.
All right. So moving on.
Okay.
This article talks about finding your tribe.
Ooh.
Networking, connecting with other people.
Yeah, super important.
Because entrepreneurship, especially if you're working from home or you're building an online business,
It can be lonely.
it can be isolating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt that, especially when I was first starting out.
Really?
Yeah, you're spending all this time working on your business.
Yeah.
And, your friends and family, you're like, oh, you're always working.
Right.
When are you going to, take a break?
Right. When are you going to get a real job?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hours.
And they don't really get it,
They don't.
They don't understand the challenges,
The ups and downs. Yeah.
the ups and downs, the pressure.
Yeah. It's a different world.
It is.
So yeah, finding people who get it,
Yeah.
I think it's super important.
Absolutely.
How did you do that?
Well, I mean, I started by just going to local networking events,
Oh, yeah.
just anything related to entrepreneurship or my industry.
Right. Just kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah. And it was scary at first,
Yeah.
but, you just have to start talking to people.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
Right.
And, you'd be surprised how many people are in the same boat.
Right. They're feeling the same way.
Yeah. They're looking for connection too.
And I love how this article talks about how networking doesn't have to be these big, scary events.
Right.
It can be online too.
Oh, yeah.
Find your people online, especially if you're building a business online. That's where your people are.
Exactly.
What are some of your favorite online spaces for connecting with other entrepreneurs?
Well, I mean, there are so many great Facebook groups.
Oh, God.
You can find groups for pretty much any niche.
Right.
And then, of course, LinkedIn is a great resource.
Yeah, definitely.
You can connect with people in your industry,
Right.
join groups, participate in discussions.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great way to build relationships and learn from others.
All right, so we've talked about goal setting. We've talked about connecting with your tribe.
Yes.
This next one I think is really interesting. It's routine.
Routine.
Yeah, routine.
Oh, okay.
You would think, as an entrepreneur, freedom.
Yeah, right. Do whatever you want.
Make your own hours.
Yeah.
No more 9 to 5. But this article really emphasizes the importance of routine.
Huh. Interesting.
What do you think about that?
At first, I was kind of resistant to routine because I was like, I don't want to be boxed in.
Right.
I want to have that freedom.
Flexibility, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've come to realize that having some structure actually helps me to be more productive.
Right.
And more creative.
Yeah, it's like it frees up your mind.
It does.
To focus on the important stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're not constantly having to make decisions about, like, when to work, when to eat.
When to sleep, right?
Yeah, all those things.
It's all taken care of.
Yeah.
So this article specifically talks about a morning routine.
Okay.
Like, they give examples like making a to-do list, exercising, showering.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great place to start.
Right.
You know, like just having a few things that you do every morning.
To kind of set the tone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how do you start your day?
Well, I'm a big fan of, like, getting up early.
Okay.
Before everyone else is awake.
Okay, so you're like getting to jumpstart.
Yeah, exactly.
I like...
have a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe do some meditation.
Okay.
And then I always make a list of, like, the top 3 things.
Oh, top 3. I like
that I want to accomplish that day.
Okay, so you're really prioritizing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think what's great about this advice is that it's like, it's not prescriptive.
Right.
It's like, find what works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're not a morning person...
Don't force yourself.
Yeah, don't force yourself to get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, find what works for you.
Find your rhythm.
Exactly.
What works for your life.
Yeah.
Your business.
That's your personality.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
so we've talked about goals. We've talked about connecting with your tribe, routine.
Yes.
This next one, I think, is crucial.
Okay.
And it's something that, unfortunately, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with.
Oh, no. What is it?
And that's burnout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
The article points out that a significant percentage of entrepreneurs experience burnout every year.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
It's a demanding lifestyle. It is, yeah. You're always on.
Yeah, you're always thinking about your business. You're always working.
And it's easy to neglect your own well-being.
Right. It's easy to forget to take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are your thoughts on, like, how to prevent burnout?
Well, I mean, I think the first step is just awareness.
Okay.
Like recognizing the signs of burnout.
What are some of the signs?
Well, like feeling exhausted all the time.
Okay.
Even when you've had enough sleep.
Right.
Feeling cynical or negative.
Yeah.
About your work or just like life in general.
Yep.
Having trouble concentrating.
Right.
Feeling like you're just not as productive as you used to be.
Yeah.
Those are all like red flags.
Yeah, red flags for sure.
That you might be heading towards burnout.
So what do you do, like, if you start to recognize those signs in yourself?
Well, I think the most important thing is to take a break.
Okay.
Like, actually step away from your work.
Step away, yeah.
Even if it's just for a few days.
Yeah.
Go on vacation.
Oh, nice.
Spend time with loved ones.
Yeah.
Do something that you enjoy.
Like something that brings you joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not business related.
Right.
Like something that actually fills your cup back up.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I think it's also important to like prioritize your physical health.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Like make sure you're getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Eating healthy foods.
Right.
Exercising regularly.
It all plays a role.
It does, yeah.
We can't just be all up in our heads. We got to
yeah.
take care of our physical bodies too.
Absolutely.
All right. And the last point this article makes is all about rewarding yourself.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah.
This is important.
They make this really interesting analogy.
Okay.
Like if you were managing a team.
Yes.
How would you motivate your employees?
Right.
Do the same for yourself.
That's a good point.
What do you think about that?
I mean, it's so true.
Right.
Like, we often treat ourselves way worse than we would treat our employees.
We do.
We're constantly pushing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're always striving for more.
Yeah. And we forget to celebrate.
Yeah.
Those little wins along the way.
The small victories.
Yeah, the small victories.
That keep us going.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit a milestone.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
Go out to dinner.
Okay.
Buy yourself something nice.
Yeah.
Take a day off.
Yeah. Give yourself permission to actually enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
The fruits of your labor.
Yeah, because those little rewards.
Yeah.
They actually help to keep us motivated.
Totally.
In the long run.
It's like it reinforces that positive behavior.
Right.
It's like, okay, I did something good.
Yeah.
Now I get to celebrate that.
Exactly.
And that makes me want to keep going.
Yeah, it gives you that little boost that you need.
So what are some of your favorite ways to reward yourself?
Well, I mean, it depends on the occasion.
Yeah.
But, sometimes it's something as simple as taking a long bath.
Okay.
With candles and bubbles.
Ooh, I like that.
Just pampering myself.
That sounds amazing.
Or, maybe it's going out for a nice dinner with my partner.
Okay.
Or, if it's a really big win,
yeah,
maybe it's a weekend getaway.
Oh, nice.
Just something to really celebrate.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's like, find what works for you.
Yeah.
Find what feels rewarding.
Exactly.
You know, and don't be afraid to celebrate those wins.
Absolutely.
Big or small.
Yeah, you deserve it.
We do deserve it.
Yes, because, you worked hard for it.
Right, exactly.
You deserve to enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
So don't be afraid to, give yourself those little treats.
Those little rewards along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep yourself motivated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we talked about personal goals and business goals and how they kind of intertwine. We want to be successful in our business, but we also want to be happy.
Yes, exactly.
Our lives.
It's about finding that balance.
Totally.
Between achieving our goals.
Yeah.
And actually enjoying the journey.
Totally. So when it comes to setting those goals, you mentioned SMART goals.
Yes.
Can you break that down for us again?
Okay, so SMART stands for specific, measurable,
achievable,
relevant, and time-bound.
Time-bound, okay. And I think each of those is so important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because it's you can't just have this vague idea floating around in your head.
It needs to be concrete.
Yeah.
Something you can actually take action on.
So give me an example.
Okay, so let's say your goal is to grow your social media following.
Okay, yeah.
Right, that's a pretty common goal.
Especially for online businesses.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But it's super vague, right?
Yes, yeah.
Grow it by how much?
By when?
Exactly.
On which platforms?
Right.
Yeah.
So a SMART goal would be something like,
okay,
I want to increase my Instagram followers by 10,000 in the next 6 months by posting 3 times a week and running monthly giveaways.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
See how that's much more specific?
It is, yeah, totally.
You've got a number, you've got a time frame,
yeah.
You've got a strategy.
And it's measurable.
Exactly.
You can track your progress.
You can see if you're on track
exactly.
to hit your goal.
I love it.
Right.
So important.
So it's really about taking that vague idea and breaking it down into
manageable steps.
Right, exactly.
That you can actually take action on.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just this overwhelming thing.
Yes.
It
is.
And you're never going to get started.
Never going to get started.
Yeah, if it's too big and scary.
Totally. And that kind of ties back into networking too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If your goal is to grow your Instagram following, maybe you can connect with other people who have already done that.
Exactly.
And learn from them.
Ask for advice.
Get some tips.
Yeah.
And it's they've already been there. They've already done that.
Yeah, they've made the mistakes.
So you don't have to.
Right. Just learn from their experience.
Okay, so let's talk about networking a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I know that can be a really intimidating thing for some people.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm an introvert, so.
Me too.
Yeah, the thought of going to a networking event.
It can be scary.
It makes me want to hide.
Yeah, totally.
Under the table.
I get it.
But I think what's great about the internet and social media these days is that
you don't have to do that.
You don't have to go to those big, scary events.
Right, exactly.
You can find your people online.
Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite ways to network online?
Well, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
Facebook groups.
Okay, yeah.
LinkedIn groups. Those are great places to start.
They are.
Just find groups that are relevant.
To your industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
your
LinkedIn,
niche.
Yeah.
And just start engaging in the conversations.
Right, comment on people's posts.
Oh, yeah.
Share your own insights.
Ask questions.
Yeah, ask questions.
Be helpful.
Be helpful.
And just start building those relationships.
It's all about building relationships.
It is, yeah.
And I think what's great about online networking is that it's less pressure.
It is.
Than going to an in-person event.
Yeah, you can kind of ease into it.
Ease into it, yeah.
At your own pace.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, once you've built those relationships online, you can always take it offline.
Oh, okay.
Meet up for coffee.
Yeah, a virtual coffee date.
Yeah.
Or go to an event together.
Yeah, if you're feeling brave.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's you can kind of build up to that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But you don't have to start there.
Yeah, start small.
Start small.
Yeah, and find what feels comfortable for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about goal setting. We've talked about networking.
Yeah.
Let's circle back to routine.
Okay.
Because I think this is one that, some entrepreneurs might be resistant to.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They crave that freedom and flexibility.
Yeah, that's the whole point of being an entrepreneur, right?
Right, that's what we all think. No more 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that, even if you're setting your own schedule, having some structure actually helps you to be more productive.
It does, yeah.
Like, it's kind of counterintuitive.
It is. It is.
But it's true. So what are some, like, simple things that people can do to kind of create more structure in their day?
Well, I mean, like we talked about before, having a morning routine.
Okay,
that's a great place to start.
It is.
And it doesn't have to be anything complicated.
Right.
You know, it could be as simple as like waking up at the same time every day.
Okay.
Having a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Maybe doing some stretching.
Okay.
Or meditation.
Okay.
Just like something to kind of like
set the tone.
Yeah, get your mind and body ready for the day.
I love it.
Right.
And then, you know, I think it's also helpful to have like a designated workspace.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, especially if you're working from home.
Yeah, because it's so easy to just like work from your couch.
Work from your bed.
Yeah, in your pajamas all day.
Yeah.
Which sounds fun.
Yeah.
But it could actually be really unproductive.
It can, yeah.
Because your brain doesn't know.
Yeah.
When it's time to work.
Yeah. When it's time to relax.
And when it's time to relax.
Yeah, it all kind of blends together.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you end up working all the time.
Yeah, and never really feeling rested.
Or like you're never really off.
Right, exactly.
So having a dedicated workspace.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a corner of your living room.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just like a desk and a chair.
Yeah, something that signals to your brain.
Right.
Like, okay, this is where I work.
This is my work zone.
This is my work zone.
Right.
Well, I think
and then, you know, when you're done working, you can leave that space.
Close the door.
Yeah.
You know, and like mentally and physically step away from work.
Yeah.
So important.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about goals, we've talked about networking, we've talked about routine.
Yeah.
This next one I think is really important.
Okay.
And it's all about self-care.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Self-care is essential.
It is. And I think as entrepreneurs, it's easy to neglect our own well-being.
It is because we're so focused on our business.
Yeah.
You know, we're always thinking about
the next thing,
the next deadline, the next goal.
Yeah, and we forget to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and then we end up burned out.
Burned out, exhausted.
Resentful.
Yeah.
You know?
So what are your thoughts on, like, how to prioritize self-care?
Well, I think it starts with just, like, making it a non-negotiable.
Okay.
You know, like actually scheduling it into your day.
Oh, interesting.
Like blocking out time for yourself.
Okay.
Just like you would block out time for a meeting.
Yeah.
Or a client call.
So it's like, it's just as important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just as important as your clients.
We are.
Yes, you are.
Yes. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that.
I think so too.
You know, like we feel guilty.
Yeah.
Taking time for ourselves.
Yeah, like we should be working.
Yeah, we should be hustling. But, you know, if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to show up.
Exactly.
You know, as our best selves.
For our business, for our clients.
Yeah.
For our families.
For everything.
For everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really an investment in our overall well-being.
It is. It's not selfish.
And success.
It's self-care.
Self-care, yeah.
It's essential.
So what are some of your favorite self-care practices?
Well, I mean, for me, it's really about like finding things that help me to relax and de-stress.
Okay.
So like I love to take baths.
Okay, yeah.
You know, with like Epsom salts and essential oils.
Oh, nice, yeah.
That's always really relaxing.
Yeah.
I also love to go for walks in nature.
Okay.
You know, just like being outside.
Yeah.
Getting some fresh air.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that too. Like,
yeah.
Just getting out of my head.
Yeah.
And into my body.
Exactly.
Into nature. It's so grounding.
It is.
So what about you? What are some of your favorite ways to take care of yourself?
I love like yoga.
Oh, yeah.
And meditation.
Those are great.
Yeah. They really help me to like calm my mind.
Yeah.
And just like de-stress.
Yeah, and like connect with my body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so important.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked about goals, we've talked about networking, we've talked about routine, self-care.
Yeah.
The last point this article makes is all about rewarding yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
And
it's important.
So how do you reward yourself?
Yeah.
Like what are some of your favorite ways to celebrate those wins?
Well, I mean, like I said before, it depends on the occasion.
Yeah.
You know, like if it's a small win, maybe it's just like getting a coffee from my favorite coffee shop.
Okay.
Or like buying myself a new book.
Okay.
Or, you know, watching an episode of my favorite TV show.
Okay, nice. Like giving yourself permission to like...
Just relax.
Yeah, exactly.
And enjoy, you know, that downtime.
Yeah, because you've earned it.
We have, yeah.
You know.
So what about you?
Well, I like to, you know, maybe go out to dinner.
Okay.
with my partner.
Okay, yeah.
Or with friends.
Yeah.
Or, like if it's a really big win.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a weekend trip.
Oh, nice.
Somewhere I've always wanted to go.
I love it.
Yeah, so it really just depends on the size of the win.
The size of the win.
And what I'm feeling like doing.
Yeah, and what feels good to you.
Exactly.
In that moment.
Yeah.
So I think what's important here is that it's not about spending a lot of money or going over the top.
It's about finding something that's meaningful to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually enjoy.
Yeah, because it's about celebrating those wins and acknowledging your accomplishments.
Yeah, because as entrepreneurs, we're often so focused on the next thing.
The next thing,
that we forget to
celebrate.
Yeah, take a moment and just be proud of ourselves.
Be proud of ourselves for how far we've come.
Exactly.
So I think that's a really important reminder.
It is.
To celebrate those wins along the way.
Absolutely.
Because it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is. Yeah.
And we need to
pace ourselves.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious, what are your biggest takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is just the importance of being intentional.
Okay.
About your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just get caught up in the day-to-day.
The hustle.
The hustle, yeah.
The grind.
And just go, go, go.
Yeah.
And not really stop and think about why you're doing this.
Right, what your goals are.
What your goals are.
Yeah.
What your values are.
As your values.
What's important to you.
Totally.
Right.
So I think it's really important to just take a step back.
Step back.
Yeah, and really think about what do you want your business to look like?
Right.
What do you want your life to look like?
What kind of impact do you want to make?
Yeah, what kind of impact do you want to make?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then use these strategies that we've talked about today.
Exactly.
To kind of create that for yourself.
Yeah, because you have the power to do that.
We do, yeah. So I think that's a really empowering message.
It is.
Yeah. So on that note,
I
think it's time for us to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
But before we go, I want to leave you guys with one final thought. What's one tiny change you could make this week to boost your motivation? It could be anything, like setting a SMART goal, joining an online group, taking a walk in nature, or planning a small reward for yourself.
Ooh, I love that challenge.
Yeah.
It's those small steps that really add up over time.
Totally. And as we've been talking, it's hit me how interconnected all these strategies are. It's not just about one thing, it's about how they all work together.
It's like weaving a tapestry, right?
Yeah.
Each thread contributes to the overall strength and beauty.
Exactly. So what's your biggest takeaway from this conversation? Anything that particularly resonated with you?
For me, it's being intentional. It's so easy to get swept up in the daily grind, but taking time for those goals, connections, and self-care, that's what builds a foundation.
Beautifully put. It's about finding that sweet spot between pushing forward and enjoying the ride.
And remembering you're not alone. There's a whole community out there ready to cheer you on and offer support.
So true. To all you incredible entrepreneurs out there, remember you've got this. Stay motivated, stay inspired, and keep creating. Oh, and don't forget to celebrate those wins.
Cheers to that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a blast exploring these strategies with you. Until next time, keep that entrepreneurial spirit burning bright.